This is the frontal lobe, associated with reasoning, planning, parts of speech, movement, emotions, and problem solving.
You use your frontal lobe nearly every day. You use it to make decisions, such as what to eat or drink for breakfast in the morning, as well as thinking or studying for a test. The frontal lobe is also where a personality is formed and where you can carry out higher mental processes, such as planning. In addition, the frontal lobe is necessary to be able to speak fluently and meaningfully.
This is the parietal lobe. It is associated with movement, orientation, recognition, and perception of stimuli.
The parietal lobe carries out some very specific functions. As a part of the cortex, it has a lot of responsibilities and has to be able to process sensory information within seconds. The parietal lobe is where information such as taste, temperature, and touch are interrogated or processed. Humans would not be able to feel sensations of touch if the parietal lobe was damaged.
This is the temporal lobe. It's associated with perception and recognition of auditory stimuli and memory and speech. The amygdala is located in the temporal lobe. The amygdala is linked to emotion. The hippocampus is also in the temporal lobe. The hippocampus is linked to memory.
The temporal lobe mainly revolves around hearing and selective listening. It receives sensory information such as sounds and speech from the ears. It is also key to being able to comprehend. In fact, we would not be able to understand someone talking to us if it wasn't the temporal lobe. This lobe is special because it makes sense of all the different sounds and pitches being transmitted from the sensory receptors of the ears.
This is the occipital lobe. It is associated with visual processing.
The occipital lobe is important to being able to correctly understand what our eyes are seeing. These lobes have to be very fast to process the rapid information that our eyes are sending. Similar to how the temporal lobe makes sense of auditory information, the occipital lobe makes sense of visual information so that we are able to understand it. If our occipital lobe was impaired, we would not be able to correctly process visual signals. Thus, visual confusion would result. The cerebral cortex coordinates voluntary muscle movements and maintains posture and balance. The pons and medulla are both located in the cerebral cortex. The pons serves as a message station between several areas in the brain. It helps relay messages from the cortex to the cerebellum. The medulla is a part of the brainstem, and it helps transfer neural messages from the brain to the spinal cord.